Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, for any of you who have followed my channel for any period of time, you know that I am not a Jimmy Garoppolo fan. Just like everybody else, I was wooed by him in 2017 with the 5-game stretch and thought the Niners had themselves a future, Pro Bowl quarterback. But as time has went on, we all have seen what he's really all about. And this is not a personal hate. This is just based on his inability to stay healthy and just his level of play. And a lot of people they take a personal route, like when people dislike him. And really it just comes down to the amount of money that they're paying him. You have to factor in his inability to stay healthy. And really, I mean, he's not, to me, he's not an elite level quarterback. He's a serviceable starter who was carried by a good run team and a fantastic defense during the run to the Super Bowl. And when you invest that much money into a quarterback, almost $27 million, you expect to get a whole hell of a lot more out of him. Now, he did have a good 2019 year, but I tend to think that was his ceiling. I don't know if he could go any higher. And I was listening to something that I found on Twitter from ESPN from Dan Orlowski, which pretty much sums up how I feel about Garoppolo as a whole and how I feel the 49ers at least how they have to think going forward. So I'm going to play that for you.
Thank you. NFL, and a lot of quarterbacks are going to go to the Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan, like he did with Matt Ryan. 3 top 5 offenses with 3 different quarterbacks. And it's not just the interceptions with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, it's also the injuries. Listen, if we are going to hold players accountable, like Jameis Winston, when we say Jameis turns the football over, well, so does Jimmy Garoppolo. He throws an interception for almost every single start he plays. So if we're going to say it about Jameis, we got to say it about Jimmy Garoppolo. If we're going to hold a guy like Carson Wentz accountable and we say, man, he's not healthy enough to get on the field, we got to do the same thing for Jimmy Garoppolo as well. He turns the football over too much, and he's not available enough. That's why I have been adamant. San Francisco cannot stand pat at quarterback.
Yep, I completely agree. You cannot stand pat at quarterback, at least the way this team is currently constructed. I mean, you have so much money invested into him, and for what? He's injured half the time. And I mean, honestly, if you put him up against any of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, he doesn't measure up. And you look into the future and you see you got contracts coming up with Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. Neither of those can happen if Garoppolo is still on the books for as much as he's going to be on the books for, regardless if the cap goes up. So hate me for this. Disagree with me. I hate to say it, but if the Niners are going to take the next step, and I know a lot of you agree with me, Jimmy Garoppolo cannot be the answer. This team is built to have a young quarterback at the helm, just the way it's constructed. You pay everybody else, and you have a young quarterback on a cheap deal, kind of like what a lot of teams do that. And you got to get the best out of that core of players while you can, while everybody's young, and while you don't have to pay the quarterback as much. So that's just my opinion, though. I know a lot of you disagree, and that's okay too. But as far as I'm concerned, if the Niners are to do anything going forward as far as trying to, get a championship, they're going to have to do something about the quarterback position. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Just thought I'd share that with you. I hope you guys appreciate it. And as usual, if anything changes, I will drop something on here. But until then, I'll see you on the flip side.